Hey, it's Dr. Karen for the week of April 7th, 2025, the Spiritual Medicine Digest. We're going to talk about the universal shield. Yes, do you need the universal shield? Well, let's back up a little bit and let's take a look at the yin and the yang and what all that is. So, in the past, I was very enamored with this concept of the universal shield. Once I had discovered entities and began healing them and had great success, one of the things that was downloaded to me was like, hey, there's such a thing called the universal shield that we can download and activate within ourselves, be able to protect ourselves from negative entities, that is, low vibrational spirits, weapons, curses, like all these things that could potentially be flung. So at the time, I was very much in kind of a, let's just say, us against them or good versus evil type of paradigm. Okay. So the shield at the time was very useful because it was like, well, we're going to keep all the bad out, only the good is coming in. Sort of similar to what my first spiritual teacher had mentioned is imagining the outside of your auric field having a mirror and anything bad just bounces off. Only the good can come in, but the mirror just reflects anything that is bad away from you. So the universal shield was something that we could download and activate to all parts of us, even down to the subtle energy parts of us. So think about the yin and the yang. This is actually pretty young, right? It's like, I'm protecting you, right? The only thing is this concept of the shield protecting us from all negativity, although it was effective, okay? And we were very excited about it at the time. There is another side of the coin. Now, how he figured that one out was a kind of a long way around this meandering river, but it first started with a group that I was part of. It might have been a Facebook group, and someone was asking about what do I do about negative entities? And at the time, being an entity clearing expert, I was like, oh, I know, right? Before I got to answer, somebody else answered, another healer, or I don't remember exactly who it was. She said, well, just allow, just let it go through you. And my eyes at the time got really big. I'm like, heck no. Right? I'm like, no. You're not coming that close to me. Okay, that's not happening. I got my universal shield, right? And I really did not understand where that healer was coming from. I really did not understand. I'm like, why would you want the entity to go through someone's field, like through their field? That makes no sense to me, right? Okay, so we agreed to disagree on that point. However, things evolve. I evolve, you evolve, the world evolves, my TOLPAKAN healing method evolves, right? Although it does make for a lot of work as things change. Think about the Chinese meridian system. Nothing has changed for thousands of years. Yet TOLPAKAN healing keeps changing moment to moment, minute to minute, right? It makes for some logistical, uh, um, interesting things. So as we evolve, this idea of the universal shield, the blocking the negativity from coming in, only allowing the positive to come in, began to be antiquated. Some of you are like, I want the shield, right? Oh man, she's not going to give us the shield. Okay. Let me explain. Why is it antiquated now? Well, what it discovered was stillness. So, stillness, not just, like what you think of stillness, like, oh, I'm going to be still. I'm going to like try to stop thinking and I'm going to sit still and I'm going to, put myself in a pretzel and, some sort of mudra and like and just not do anything. Not exactly. So, the stillness that I call stillness is really being fully embodied with your energy, being full of yourself. Yes, being full of yourself, full of your energy, being fully present. I finally figured out what that meant after years of like, you know, it's being full of yourself. being full of your own energy. Anything that is not your energy, guess what? Can't live there, right? So the universal shield evolved to the universal clearing vortex in TOLPAKAN healing. Now, we often say it's the same thing, but it's not exactly. Okay, so I'm going to delineate the differences. Most of the time when we think of shield, we think of blocking things out, right? In fact, in the past, even before the universal shield, I used to tell my empath clients and patients to pull their aura into a small, you know, just, just tighten it up, right? So they wouldn't feel so much when they'd go to a party or they go to a football game and they would feel everybody's energy. It's like, oh, so uncomfortable. Just pull your aura in. And then I heard from yet another spiritual teacher at some point that says, no, don't do that. Make your aura as big as possible. And I'm like, okay, how does that all work? I figured it out though after a while. So what happens is when we go to stillness, the 0 point field, which we can practice today if you like, what happens is we become full of ourselves. Our energy, instead of being scattered throughout the multiverse, okay, comes back into this moment. That is when you are the safest from all the seemingly negative, low vibrational, wayward energies. When you are full of yourself. The opposite is not being grounded and having soul fragments or whatever elsewhere and holes in your field, or being so uncomfortable that you think the best thing to do is escape. Guess what? When no one's home, you get like freeloaders, right? So we don't want that. So what happens when you're in the stillness and you have the universal clearing vortex, the more evolved version of the universal shield, downloaded and activated? This clearing vortex is not just a protect things from coming in. No. It is a clearing, healing vortex. And as you go into stillness, this vortex expands beyond you, the confines of your auric field, and goes way beyond that. Jenny No and I call that, she's a friend of mine, the light radius. So your light radius actually expands as you go to stillness. This universal clearing vortex that you have downloaded actually expands and automatically heals, if it's for the highest good, entities, negative things in that radius. How cool is that? Now, I have measured, quote unquote, people's universal clearing vortex light radius when they're not in stillness, when they're just talking regular things. I've done this for many, many clients. I've done thousands upon thousands of healing sessions, right? So I've talked to, worked with many, many, many people. And what was very consistent is that as they were in common consciousness, not in full consciousness, through stillness, whatever you want to call it, universal clearing vortex, fully activated, full of themselves. So when they were in common consciousness, just talking, not really feeling their bodies, not trying to be present, right? They have a clearing vortex, and I would measure the light radius, and it would be 3 to 5 feet away from the center of their being, of their body. We would go into stillness through observing internal movement. That is my method to go to the still point and bring all your energy circuits back to the present moment, consistently across the board. The universal clearing vortex, without any command or directive from me or that client, would expand multifold. That means a lot. Okay. What was 3 to 5 feet was now up to 100 feet. The radius from their body out was 100 feet. Wow. Okay. Can you imagine walking around just auto clearing everything in your way? Yeah, not in your way, but as you walk through the mall or the football game or your child's school or whatever. How cool is that? So that behooves us to really be in stillness all the time. I call that stillness on the fly. So coming back to, the differences between the universal shield, which is in some way very yang, and then the universal clearing vortex, which is a little bit more yin because it's actually inside of you, is that, there is yin yang nature to this as well, expansion and contraction. So within the yin of that universal clearing vortex, as you become into stillness, more yin, guess what? The universal clearing vortex expands and becomes more yang. It's crazy stuff, right? It's so cool. Now, back to the guy or the gal who said you let the entities go through you. I did not understand this for the longest time. But now think about it. You have universal clearing vortex. Could the entity go through you then? Yeah, it could go right through that vortex and heal. In fact, I have one in my house. We teach about how to do this in the Light Warrior Bootcamp program, by the way. It's my specialty program for entity clearing. Anyway, so before I had this clearing vortex for my house, all manner of ghosts would like come by and ask for help. It could be dinner time, it could be bedtime. I'd be woken up in the middle of the night. One time I ate 5 dinners because I was so freaking hungry, and my husband was like, okay, what is going on? You were reaching into the fridge and freezer trying to like get more food. Like, seriously, what is going on? I'm like, I'm not pregnant, so I don't really know. So I tested, and there was a ghost on my property at that time. It's many years ago. And it was an elderly woman who in the next town over had died, was not found for a while. She actually starved to death. So I know it's a sad story. Anyway, so we crossed her over. I stopped feeling hungry. But after all these interruptions, I realized the universe was trying to teach me something, and that was boundaries. And I in so-called invented, found, discovered, whatever, this universal clearing vortex for myself, and then also so for people, but also for places. So if you own your home, you have kind of dibs on your home, you get to kind of rule the roost, so to speak. Then once you download and activate the clearing vortex, and go into stillness, unless you are doing anything that is not on the up and up, we're talking like betrayal, extortion, lying, like really nasty stuff. Porn, could be a possibility because of the guilt. That vortex will hold. If you get into really low vibration, it might not hold as much. Might not hold as much. So after setting that up, what happens is that the entities that want to go, ooh, light, light, we need light, or, the angels told me to come to her place, right? They go hit that outside part of the vortex, which is pretty far away from my house, by the way. They hit that, they go and to a higher level of vibration, and they heal. And I don't get a memo about it. I certainly don't have to eat 5 dinners any longer. They're not like interrupting me in the middle of dinner. Like I'm smelling a ghost and it smells like a drunk guy. It's like, right? I don't have to do any of that any longer. I think my angels thought it was really funny. They're like, oh, she finally figured it out. Like, seriously, I'm trying to have a life here, stop bugging me. So having that universal clearing vortex can be super, super helpful. It's not just a shield. It's a healing vortex. It's a healing vortex. So we're going to go ahead and put some links below this video where we're watching it on YouTube, especially. You'll see those links. And by the way, if you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And yeah, there is a link we have to the Universal Clearing Vortex, www.karencan.com/UCV. Okay, Universal Clearing Vortex. And that's free. You can, just go to that site anytime, watch it, and just, it kinds of, if you don't have it, it'll download it to you. If you already have it, it'll just help you expand it. And Stillness-on-the-Fly, 30-minute, 31-minute training on how to go into that still point, that stillness, and it expands that beautiful universal clearing vortex. So it's this beautiful dance of yin and yang. You see that? It's really, really cool. And so when people say now, oh, you just let the entity go through you, the negative energy go through you, I get it. When you're full of yourself, can't harm you, might even get a healing. Now, that being said, some people are like, I don't think I want it going through me, right? That's okay too. Whatever works for you, that's what you should do. So if you were like, well, I think I'm just going to download the Universal Shield instead, I'm like, go ahead. That's fine. You know, you're going to download and activate it the same way you would the Universal Clearing Vortex, right? And I know some of you are like, can I have both? You don't really need both, but feel free if it makes you feel better to do that as well. So for our TOLPAKAN Healing Activation today, yes, you get to download the Universal Clearing Vortex. I'll do this for you and with you. Let's start by going to the still point together. Rub your hands, stamp your feet, get the movement going. Relax, close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. And just focus on the inside of your body. Feel any movement, waves, tingles, pulses. Anywhere you feel it, and follow that flow wherever you go. Wherever it goes, beyond the hands, beyond the feet. Maybe it's more upper, lower body. Doesn't really matter. Just follow the flow without wanting to change it. We're entering the 0 point field here. This is where we can do the directive and have the universe do our bidding. I'll speak the TOLPAKAN healing directives, and you focus on your body being full of yourself. And notice if you notice any shifts. Here we go. I now command the Universal Clearing Vortex be downloaded and activated in you all the way down to your cellular, subcellular, DNA, sub-DNA, subtle energy levels, and beyond. With ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way, I now command the Universal Clearing Vortex be downloaded and activated to all your sleep realms, wherever you go, while you're awake, with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. Take a quick breath in and out. Open your eyes. Just notice in the body how that feels. Would love for you to type some comments below. Let me know how that feels to you. And yeah, I'd love also to share with me what your aha was today. You get the difference between that Universal Shield, the Universal Clearing Vortex. That one is a more evolved version of the other. How do you feel about the idea of negative energy just going right through your field when you are in that high vibration? And for those that have been squishing their auric field, perhaps you can experiment with being more full of yourself and expanding your field and see how that feels. Because here's the cool thing, the biggest energy in the room wins. Same with sports. So the biggest energy in the room wins. And especially if you are, by the way, a human design manifesting generator like I am, generator, manifesting generators, our auric fields literally affect people in a positive way when we're in a positive state. So that's the other little tip there. So thank you so much for joining me. Would love your comments. Let me know how that feels in the body. And, you know, you can always do a TOLPAKAN healing activation directive whenever you want. Just go into stillness first. Make your directive. If it's for the highest and greatest good, it will happen for you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If it resonated with you, would love for you to hit subscribe and the like button and perhaps share it with someone who's like-minded who would appreciate it. And in the meantime, would love to connect with you in my light medicine community. It's absolutely free to join, and it's for sensitive souls who wish to receive love and support and also to share who they really are. It's a safe space for each of us to really shine. So I'll put the link below as well as this week's offerings and freebies, and we will see you there.